Hi, so in this video I'm going to be showing you connections between the American dream and nature. So if you haven't noticed, I'm going to point it out to you in this presentation, but the American dream can be found in nature. First, I'm going to start off with these two trees. So there's this small tree here and this large tree here. Basically, what I'm going to tell you is that in comparison, you can go from a small tree to a big tree. And one of the main ideologies of the American dream is the hope to succeed and further yourself to become bigger and better. So the small tree went to a big tree, and it succeeded from going to almost nothing to something. In this slide, it represents the American dream because the American dream can contain the idea that you can go from nothing to something, or you can be fallen down and broken, such as these laying down rocks and this broken tree branch, to something big, and you can get back up from being broken down and stand up. So these standing rocks and like this tree branch that is just fine, they were stood up from something bad that happened to them, and just a relation to maybe a real life situation that you could connect this to is maybe a kid from the inner city ghetto who has always been told that he can't follow his dreams, but he ends up standing up and succeeding in following those dreams, and that would be like represented by these standing rocks here. In this slide, it represents the American dream because the American dream can be considered to represent everything as a connection. So with everyone having the same hope and dream, it is kind of seen that everyone is connected to America. And that connection is seen in the way the branches here are connected to the trunk, the veins on this leaf are connected to the stem, and the dandelion round seeds are connected to the stem. Next, there is also the ideology of togetherness in the American dream, and this is seen in how the trees are together, these flowers are together, the fish swim together, and the geese travel together. And just togetherness in all is a big representation of the American dream because, as seen here, it is good to have roots to America, and it is a very strong ideology, though not really thought about by people on a regular basis, that people are rooted together, whether it would be in a community or just a family or just the entire country itself. And that moves us on to these two pictures, which show moss on a tree trunk, and that kind of represents an attachment to something bigger, as well as these flowers on the tree attached to a bigger tree, and that also represents an attachment to a bigger family or a bigger community. On this slide, it shows the combination of different colors of rocks or different colored flowers, and the ideology of the American dream, especially with the rocks showing it, is in terms of race and how your color or race can't hold you back if you get the American dream and make it. And the rocks represent it really well, I believe, because no rock really stands out. And so it kind of makes everyone equal, and that is seen in nature in very many ways, as well as in these flowers, and no flower looks more beautiful than the other. They're both there in the same location, almost as a community, just different people, different colors, different forms in the same location. And then another major ideology of the American dream is work, and whether it is with these ants who are all working together to meet a goal or these bees who are doing the same, it is seen that the American dream of work is really paying off because all of these ants are working together to get one goal done, and especially like as seen in these bees are collecting honey so that they can have it later for something like food, and it kind of begins to represent the importance of food in the American dream with the ideal of a 6 o'clock dinner at night where the entire family eats it together. And that really moves me on to the next slide, where it's just a picture or three of a domesticated cat that really, although like you may not think in your own house with pets that your animals have the American dream, but really they do. They have food served to them when necessary, and they really just don't have any worry in the world, and that is one of the biggest parts of the American dream, just to be clearly relaxed with no worries because you have a home, you have food, and you have comfort. And so with that, there is just a clear cut presence of the American dream. And then in this slide, it is shown similarly through the foxes and the eagle that as a family, whether it's this family of eagles or the family of foxes, that they are together as a family, and they also are together in their home. So these foxes in the hole, which is their home, the eagles in its nest, which is its home, all together as a family in one location, one stable home. And that is one of the biggest parts of the American dream, because you want to have a home for your family. Finally, in this slide with these 4 pictures, it represents the American dream ideology that nothing can stop you from achieving your dream. So with the water on the dam, even though the dam is man-made, the water is clearly a part of nature, and the water flows by the dam with a goal in mind, with a dream in mind of getting across the dam and getting to its final location down the river. And that is also seen with crossing situations in the way that animals could cross this tree here to get to the other side if necessary, and cross this little land bridge across the small stream to get to the other side. And that really relates to immigrants who cross oceans to come to America in the spirit of the American dream, just because with the dream of having a family, a home, just relaxing with no worries, equality, community, and being rooted in something really represents the American dream. And so in the future now, I hope that when you go outside and you look at nature, you can appreciate it and really see that even just in what you see every day, there is the American dream.